This is my TX200 with the 22mm Tony Leach skirtless conversion in it. Superbly accurate gun, very easy to cock, very highly tuned. However, last weekend took it to the Springer Bash, lots and lots of people there, did lots of shooting, and over the course of the day it became obvious that it was developing a bit of a problem as it began to tighten up. So we had to strip the gun down. Mick kindly took the piston away, and what was happening was the piston was tightening in the compression chamber. Now, very highly tuned gun, and we know that they work to very fine tolerances, so we're only talking minute fractions of things here. Now, I've told Tony Leach about this, and obviously he's concerned, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the gun down and I'm going to send the internals off to him so he can just give it a fettle, make sure everything's as he wants it to be, because you know, you don't want these sorts of things happening. Still, by far the best this gun's ever shot. Does sound a bit twangy, but then with a skirtless setup you have to run them quite dry. So it's very important that they're very accurately made, which this obviously is. But I'm going to take it apart, send the internals to Tony, let him work his magic on it, and then reassemble the gun afterwards. So that's the situation so far with this gun. So there we go, here's the TX stripped down again. That's the full 22mm Tony Leach kit, and of course on top of that goes the cylinder with its 22mm sleeving. That's all now going to go back to Tony, including the trigger block, because the guide is such a good fit. I can't get it off, and I don't want to start putting it in a vice and smacking it about. So I'll send the whole shooting match to him and let him have a good old fettle, and we'll see what it's like when it comes back. Okay, I've received this parcel this morning from Tony Leach. It's the longest day of the year today. It's blisteringly hot, but I'm quite excited to see this. Now, I know in the past couple of weeks, while Tony's had the parts back, we've had lots of conversations, and it's been very interesting because this is the HC kit, the HC gun, and the barrel's shorter. So he's been doing some experimentation. He went out and bought an HC just so that he could tune the kit to suit the HC shorter carbine barrel. So very interesting conversation, and it shows you his attention to detail. Like I say, these things, as I said at the start, when it started to tighten up a bit, these things are made to very fine tolerances. So let's have a look, see what we've got this time. We've got the trigger housing, which the previous guide was attached to, and then we've got the kit parts. Okay, and there we go. Now we have a slightly different approach. Yep, we've got now a Delrin spring. Everything as ever fits together perfectly. Already lubed. Nice, lovely fit, as you would expect. Yeah, complete seal, spot on. So this can now go back in the gun, and I'm looking forward to trying it. See how that comes out. All interesting stuff. I think it's. I've just put this back together, so the assembly's back in, the trigger unit's back in, but I've not fastened it in yet with the bolt. I think it's worth showing this because one of the real strengths of this particular tune is how soft it is to cock. It uses a really soft spring, so it's not like a bullworker to cock the thing. It makes it very easy to shoot, and it makes it very easy to shoot a lot. So I just thought I'd show you this because I think it's worth seeing, and that is the amount of preload there is on it. I can push that together with one hand quite easily, and in it goes. Like so. That's all there is to it. Really easy, nicely, softly sprung, easy to cock. Big advantage. I've reassembled the gun. It shoots really nicely again. That cocking is ridiculously soft. It's just lovely. The firing cycle, spot on. There's a very slight nudge. The sight picture, well, there's a tiny bit of movement, but not enough for you to lose the target. It's got to be as good as, well, if not better than anything else I've got. It's absolutely spot on. So far I've put about, since putting it back together, maybe 50 shots through it. It is very good to shoot. Very good indeed. I'm very impressed with it. It's remanufactured the whole internals. It's superbly accurate. I'm shooting at my zeroing target 62 yards away up the garden, and I'm nailing it time after time. Again, it's the carbine model with a shorter barrel. So we're back on point as far as I'm concerned. It really is shooting very nicely. It's worth remembering that with these highly tuned guns, you are talking about very fine tolerances, and that's obvious. You can't get a gun to shoot this well unless you work into these fine tolerances. But I've got to say, that 22mm conversion, when it's running as it should be, is absolutely spot on. I'll show you a few shots. Okay, so out there is my zeroing target. I'll see if I can zoom out that far so you can see it. It is 62 yards away up the garden. That is as far as my zoom will reach. That's 24 times zoom. So let's have a few shots at that. There's a little bit of wind, but nothing major. as you can see, I'm kind of nailing the centre of the zeroing target regularly. 62 yards, a little tiny bit of side wind, no mean feat. So there you go. Shooting, absolutely lovely. Very, very good.